Back at the convention, and while the convention is an annual celebration, it is also an opportunity for people to connect over a shared mission.
Here in Boston, the local chapter is focused on jobs, schools, and voting rights. The NAACP has been leading the fight for equality for 114 years. The Boston chapter has been there nearly since the beginning, with innumerable battles to wage at once. Right now, the local chapter's policy agenda is focused on 3 areas that would have a lasting impact on communities of color. The first, expanding economic opportunity.
We have more work to do helping to ensure that folks have access to quality jobs, and that for those who choose to start their own businesses, that they have access to the capital in order to be successful.
Tanisha Sullivan is the president of the NAACP Boston branch. The chapter's second major focus is on improving public education.
Access to quality public education opens so many doors of possibility for all of us.
The third priority of the chapter is the fight for voting rights.
Voting should be convenient. It should not be a hardship.
In addition to being an executive committee member of the NAACP Boston branch, Cheryl Clyburn Crawford is executive director of the nonprofit Mass Vote, a statewide voting rights issue advocacy organization.
Every vote matters.
In 2022, voting rights in Massachusetts expanded when the Pandemic Prompted Votes Act was made permanent, signed into law by then-Governor Charlie Baker.
We have permanent mail-in ballots, permanent expanded hours for early voting. We're really happy that we were able to pass that piece of legislation, which gives people more options.
But Clyburn Crawford says there is still more work to be done.
One of the things we realized is a real gap in even those that are registered to vote and those that actually go out to vote.
Part of Mass Vote's mission is to educate and engage the community so people understand why their voice and their vote matter.
What's really important is that you get involved locally. Those are the people that are really close to you that can really advocate for your issues.
Mass Vote sees campaigns to require voter ID at the polls prohibitive for people of color.
ID costs $25, so that means every time you move, that's $25. That's not feasible. Poor people, young people, black and brown people tend to move more often.
Mass Vote and the NAACP are working to guarantee that no eligible voter is denied their right to cast their ballot, whether it be due to policy or apathy.
Everything is tied into voting, right? Like getting people in office that care about your issues, that have the same values and morals as you.
While there's still a long way to go, there is some evidence of progress.
The Boston City Council, 10 years ago, it was all white men. Now we have women, we have people of color, and it represents the diversity of the city. And I see that happening more and more. I am hopeful.
And joining us now is Abba Blankson, who's the Chief Marketing and Communications Officer for the NAACP. And Abba, first of all, thank you, of course, for joining us. But talk to us a little bit about why it is so significant to have this here in Boston after 40 years.
Thank you so much for having me. Boston is a vibrant city. It's a resilient city. It's a city with rich in history, great African-American communities. And so we are happy to be in Boston. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the hub right now, which is just having wonderful energy. But Boston is fantastic and such a great platform to discuss national issues. I think there's so many things that Boston can reflect when you talk about education, when you talk about affirmative action or the Supreme Court decisions. And so we couldn't have picked a better city this year. We're so excited to be here.
Well, we're excited that you're here, and you mentioned the hub. What exactly is it, and what can people expect?
So the hub is really the center of energy for our convention. It's a space that's free and open to the community, free and open to the public. Today we're having a performance by DJ Jazzy Jeff. Everybody is loving it. We're celebrating 50 years of hip hop, and everybody's having a great time. Tomorrow we get to work on the policies and the different panels and workshops, but today it's time to celebrate and our brilliance and our excellence.
Well, we're really glad to have you back. Thanks for coming back to Boston. Don't be a stranger for the next 40 years. We hope you'll come back
We will not.
a little sooner than that. Thank you, Abba Blankson, Chief Marketing Communications Officer for the NAACP. And we'll be right back. Boston's brightest are competing on a national stage.